Hey everybody, my name's Crystal and I go by the Energetic Alchemist. I have created a couple of social media platforms and I use these to talk about my spiritual journey, what I'm going through, what my clients are going through, and what the guides are saying when we communicate. And I do this so that we can get a better feel for where we should be energetically and processes that are given to me so that we can work towards that space. It's been wonderful and so exciting. And so today I want to come here and talk to you guys all about Ascension. What is it? Why is it happening? And how can we be more of a participant in this process of our own evolution? So with that, what is the Ascension? Well, we are moving into a higher frequencied world. There's a lot of unknowns that go along with a lot of these changes and shifts that are happening. But the one thing that I can say is that the earth in itself is really beginning to shift. You can see the Schumann Frequency starting to rise. It's peaking in places it's never peaked before. The collective consciousness of humanity is starting to shift. You see people really fed up with the old ways of being and really asking for new energy, new financial systems, new educational system, new healthcare. There's so many things that people are asking for and wanting, and we all know deep down inside there's got to be a better way than, always just looking out for yourself and taking care of yourself and not really caring too much whether or not you're impacting the people or the world around you. And because we are receiving all of these energy packages, if you will, they are really beginning to shift us into creating this kind of life around us, which has been a really beautiful transformation. So the energy that's coming in, I like to look at it as an energetic package. So it's basically heightened blocks of consciousness that are moving down into our atmosphere and allowing our bodies to receive information in ways that we never have before. And what this is doing is it's causing the body to respond differently. So our cells are responding differently. Our DNA is responding differently. Our brains are starting to react differently as well. So within all of this, it's beginning to shift the consciousness of our physical bodies as well as our energetic bodies. We are moving from a more carbon-based body and reality into one that is more of crystalline in nature and structure. So we just have a lot of changes going on, and this energy, because we are energy, is penetrating through our bodies and really shifting us. We are wanting and exploring new ideas about ourselves and about the world that we live in. So there's a lot of really cool things happening right now. And these shifts, I apologize, I have a little puppy here and she keeps moving my camera. These shifts are allowing you to come into a place within your body that you are beginning to really release. You're beginning to release lower vibrational density. So lower thought forms, fears, insecurities, jealousies, anything like that that's going on in your energetic field is going to start to dissipate more and more and more as we move through these transitions. One thing that I've noticed throughout my transition is that I don't get fearful the way I used to, and I definitely don't worry. And about 6 months ago, I would have considered myself a very big worrier. Even within all of my spiritual work and my channelings, within all of that, I still had a tendency to worry. This puppy, I tell you. So The changes are real and they're happening and they're shifting us for the better. When we are not on top of our own personal vibration, though, it can get a little tricky. And what I mean by that is if you are not actively participating and being in a positive space, in a heightened vibration, then you're going to experience these shifts in ways that aren't always going to feel good. They might show up in the form of nausea, headaches, achy joints, an achy body, rashes that just kind of appear. It's the way the body is going to purge out this energy if you are choosing to not participate and do the work, so to speak. So what I always suggest to people, if you want to feel good through these shifts, and if you want the aching and the craziness and the heat in the body and the weakened immune system and the irritation and the anxiety, all of these so-called symptoms of ascension, which I like to call proofs of ascension, because for me it's proof that my body is really shifting, and I try to spin it into a positive. But all of these things don't have to be experienced in a negative manner. By managing your vibration, you can really shift the way this all unfolds for you. You can start to see things in a very, very magical way. So being on top of your vibration is going to look like somebody that wakes up and decides how they're going to feel for the day. Somebody that wakes up and meditates because maybe they didn't get enough sleep the night before and they know they're really going to need to feel connected today. So managing your diet and making sure you're getting enough water in your body and walking and moving as much as possible. All of these things tie into making sure that you are your best self, which is living from that heightened vibration. And in that place, you're not going to feel the releasing of the density within the body or the emotions that come with it, because a lot of times we're releasing our emotional body as well. But you're just not going to feel it. It's not going to be painful. It'll show up for you like, oh, maybe I need a nap, versus crying for a week straight. So I just want everybody to know, this whole ascension thing, this energy shift, this heightening of our bodies and our consciousness as an individual and a whole, it can be a little tough at times, but it really doesn't need to be. So find tools. There's a lot of tools on the internet. There's a lot of tools on YouTube. I follow a lot of people who say a lot of good things and have a lot of good advice as to what to do when you're in the muck, or what to do when you're on the verge of being in the muck. And, what is it that we should be doing when we're not in the muck? How do you, once you reach your heightened vibration, how do you continue it and maintain it and let it begin to thrive and create momentum around it? So there's a lot of really great information. Don't feel like you have to go through all of these shifts on your own. There's a very large community out there. So the one other thing that I can say that has helped me dramatically through this ascension process has been to make it a purpose of mine to be somebody who exhibits love, not just sometimes, but frequently. Sorry. And what does that look like? There are times when somebody's going to cut you off on the road, and maybe you're in a hurry too, or just haven't had the best day. If you take a minute and practice what I like to call the pause, if you take a minute and decide that in that moment you're going to extend love somewhere where you normally would have extended irritation or maybe a middle finger, when you can take a break and act outside of the ways that you would normally react, you are expanding yourself. So when I say that I like to practice coming from that love space, it's something that I really like to do in the moment, holding doors open for people and just really acting from a kind space, verbally and just physically. And that has been probably the biggest shift within me, because in the unconditional loving of other people, was able to really bring myself in a space of unconditionally loving everything, loving myself, loving this process, the good and the bad. And you know, just really where we're all heading. And, you know, you learn to begin to have a lot of respect for the past and where it's brought you. And it just kind of shifts your whole perspective on everything, energy and this physical life that we're living. So, I hope that gives everybody a little bit of clarity on what the ascension process really is and how we can manage our way through it. My best advice always to everybody is to let yourself off the hook and just be where you are. Because sometimes the ascension energies can be very strong, and if you're releasing a lot of density, it can get overwhelming. So being easy with the energy and just allowing yourself to kind of be where you are is almost like giving yourself a hug, you know, giving yourself that comfort and that space to just kind of get through what you need to get through. This ascension process is not going to last forever. We're coming to a very large tipping point within the energy of humanity, and we're beginning to move into a very beautiful and different world than we're used to. So know that it's not going to last forever, but it is way more enjoyable if you are an active part. So find teachers and tools that work. Start utilizing these practices that you see. I know something we talk about quite a bit in the spiritual world is, you know, I know what I know, what I know. And this new energy that we're moving into with these ascension waves, they don't, the energy in itself doesn't really care what you know if you're not acting out in a fashion that allows you to be the creator that you've come here to be. So, and put that in a more simple form, you know, we're not just here to know things. We're here to have these spiritual understandings of how energy works and how we work and how we can connect with other beings in the universe and in so many different ways. But then utilize that energy through putting it into action, you know, going through your life and acting from the space of knowing that you're always connected to divine energy. Well, if you knew you were always connected to divine energy, what would that look like? That would look like a communication. You know, that would look like wanting to be in contact more frequently, not just, oh yeah, I know, we're all connected to source, and then going about your human 3D life without interjecting or acting out on any of these wonderful tools and abilities that we have. So the energy is just really asking us to step up and step forward and be more of a creator. And when you do that, that's when things get really good. That's when things start to get magical. So I wish you all your best on this journey. It's a beautiful journey, to say the least. I know a lot of times you can feel alone or secluded if you don't have many other awakened people around you. And if that is you, like I said earlier in this video, start to reach out and create your tribe, create your community, be more active in message boards or in the videos that are posted on forums like YouTube and Facebook pages and website comment sections and stuff like that, because you'll find that you're meeting a lot of really good people, like-minded people, like-hearted people that are trying to connect just as much as you are. So keep that in mind always. I love you guys so much, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and we really are all in this together. So sending you so much love. Take care. Bye.